Some wild basketball all across the country. And also, we got Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. How's everybody doing? Well, it was a frustrating night trying to put this show together. The Presto Sports went down and the Arizona Christian game went forever. But we got it done. There might be some mistakes, but I'm just going to be honest with you, it was a really frustrating evening. That's aside. Hey, let's start with a couple of milestones. I want to say a huge congratulations to New College of Florida, Andrew Wingreen, Drew Stutz, all his staff for their first Sun Conference victory in school history, January 8th, 2025. Congratulations, Coach. Many more to come. They're building that program there the right way, and I'm anxious to see what's going to happen, over the next few years there. Also, Cade Looney, University of Pikeville, he bypassed 1,000 points and became a member of the 1,000 point career club. Huge milestone. Cade, you should be very proud of that, and congratulations to you. There's that Arizona Christian game. So Arizona Christian, they fell to the Masters 86-69. They go to 13-3. They're going to host Embry-Riddle on Saturday. Let's go over to the Masters and talk about the details. So in this game, Caleb Lowry, he played really well, 21 points, 14 rebounds. Kendall Moore, 22 points, 5 rebounds. They go to 13-3. The game was physical, as you would imagine, right? Two big, strong teams really, battling for not only GSAC placing. It's only the second game in a conference, but it was a big game. Also, it's just a rough game, and a lot of whistles, not only fouls, but just the ball going out of bounds, just guys falling. It was kind of a hard, it wasn't one of those where you go, oh, that was such a wonderful basketball game. It was just a fist fight. And the Masters came out ahead on that today. The Masters was amazing at the line in the second half, really kept Arizona Christian at bay. And the Masters, the Masters just got the stops when they had to. So as I said, they go to 13-3. And they are going to host OUAZ on Saturday. Not much to show you here with I didn't even put the standings up. They've only played 2 games. No surprises here. That's the old scoring. Man, oh man, I knew I was going to have a mistake in there. So Arizona Christian won, and then on Thursday, watch for this game. Hope International is going to play Benedictine. That could be a pretty good game. I knew I was going to have a mistake in there. Let's jump over to the GPAC and forget about that page. Northwestern defeated Dakota Wesleyan in Orange City. They were at Northwestern. Northwestern continues to win, but each game is a little tighter. The Hastings games was tighter. The Midland game was only 3 points, and then tonight 6 points against Dakota Wesleyan. They're playing good teams there in the GPAC, but you just feel like something's there, but you can't win. I mean, nobody wins forever. That's like the law of nature. So we'll just have to see what happens, but they're 17-0. Wow. That's pretty incredible. Jesse Van Kalsbeek, 22 points, 6 rebounds. Alex Van Kalsbeek, he had 22.7 rebounds, and they're going to host Dort on Wednesday. So Dort is, 16-1. We're going to talk about them in a second. But that should be quite the battle. But that game is going to be at Northwestern. So if you've ever been to the Northwestern there in Orange City, that's a tough place to play. Well, so is Dort. So Dort tonight, they defeated Waldorf. They just showed no mercy. Remember, they fell the other night it skipped my mind. But they fell, and they were looking for somebody to take it out on, and poor Waldorf was in the way. So Dort fell 110 to 58, and Luke Rankin 17 points, 9 assists. Lucas Lorenzen 13 points, 8 rebounds. They go to 16-1, and of course they're going to play Northwestern, but first they got to play Mount Marty on Saturday. So they're hoping to get past Mount Marty and then make that 15-minute drive over to Orange City, and that, I bet you that place is just packed. That place is going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's take a look in the GPAC. Really no surprises here. Everybody who should have won. Take a look at the standings. Northwestern is still 9-0. Dort's 1 game back. Concordia is 2.5 games back from Northwestern. So with that in mind, you look at the games for Saturday, probably the biggest game that has a potential of moving the standings is Concordia is going to Briarcliff. So Briarcliff's record is down a bit, but it's Briarcliff. And it's just like all these other schools in the GPAC. It's tough to play there. So I think that's a game to keep your eye on in the GPAC. Okay, let's go to the Crossroads. This is when I couldn't get anything off Presto Sports. But Bethel, they hosted Marion. They beat Marion 70-57. So they go to 13-3, and they're going to play Grace on Saturday. They go to Winona Lake to play Grace on Saturday. So Bethel wins again. Grace, they beat Huntington in Huntington. They beat them, what was the score there? 70-66. There, you saw it before I did, didn't you? Ian Roush, 20 points, 11 rebounds for a double-double, and Ian Scott, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Grace goes to 13-3, and as we said, they're going to host Bethel on Saturday. That place is going to be rocking too. And as we just said, Huntington fell to Grace. They go to 12-3, and they're going to no easy road for them either. They're going to be at Spring Arbor on Saturday. And Indiana Wesleyan goes down again. They're now 1-5 in conference. They lost to Taylor, kind of their crosstown rival, 79-76. I think they're running out of time. I don't know if they can right the ship and get back. I mean, there's 18 conference games, so even if they went on a huge winning streak, the best they could do is 13-5. I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see where they end up. I'm not going to bet against Tonagel yet. So let's take a look here at the Crossroads. Oh, I want to talk about this game. Mount Vernon Nazarene beat St. Francis at St. Francis over in Fort Wayne. Mount Vernon Nazarene was unconscious, on fire, whatever words you want to use. They hit 12 threes in the first half. They hit 20 for the game. They shot 50% from three. I think they shot 63% from the field in the first half. Not taking anything away from them. But, I mean, nobody's going to beat you when you're playing like that. But they ended up just, St. Francis got way behind early, just that barrage of threes, and there was just nothing they could do about it. Let's take a look at the standings. So Bethel, they're 6-0. Grace and Spring Arbor both 5-1, and then St. Francis is 2 games back from Bethel. So with that in mind, those aren't right. Hang on. So we made an executive decision. Don't look at the circles. Bethel, Grace, that's a game you definitely need to follow on Saturday. Huntington, Spring Arbor, another game with huge consequences in the standings for the Crossroads. And St. Francis is going to Marion. 3 big games. So really, it's all the uncircled ones. I told you I had a really rough night. I thought I had this together. This is my worst night putting a show together that I've had. So why don't we just take a pause? Chris Kemp is the head men's basketball coach at Eastern Oregon. He's a good guy. I really like Chris Kemp. He puts together he's one of those kind of guys you go, what is Eastern Oregon going to have? And he's one of those guys that you always go, well, he's going to have a good team. They're always going to be good. He puts together good teams that are tough nose, always tough in the paint, penetrate, and just kind of a fun team to watch. Sometimes not the funnest team to play, but they're always a fun team to watch. So why don't we just take a listen to Chris Kemp? He's the head men's basketball coach at Eastern Oregon. Cascade Hoops Talk. Hey, I got Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. Thanks, Coach, for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we were just talking, Coach, big weekend wins. One of the toughest weekends for any Cascade Conference school is when the teams from, we call it the Valley, come over, Corbin and Bushnell. You were able to get the sweep for the weekend. How important was that for your team?
Yeah, it was huge just from our mental state, getting a couple big wins at home, but also just protecting our home floor and just keeping up with a lot of these top end teams that that are winning a lot of games. We knew that it was super important that we win our home games, and with obviously some tough road trips still ahead of us, to win at home was kind of a baseline to keep up with a lot of those top teams in our league.
Yeah. So, Coach, right now you're 9-4, but your 4 losses kind of came in a bunch. I think you lost 4 out of 6 in one stretch, but now you've won 3 in a row. You got Malachi back in the starting lineup, I see. That's probably important for you as well. So where do you feel your team is right now?
Yeah, I think that we feel real comfortable with our rotation. We start now 3 seniors, and then a lot of underclassmen after that. But the 3 seniors we have played a ton of basketball, and I feel like we're in a good spot. We're kind of just trying to have a little bit of tunnel vision and just worry about getting better every day. Not worry about the results. Like you said, some of those losses we lost some really close games, some tough teams. So we just really focused on what's going to get us over the hump and how we can win those 1-possession games. And I don't know if we've been tested in that yet, but Corbin made a run at us and got us close. And so I think mentally our team's in a really good spot. I'm real comfortable with where we're at in our rotation, and we're healthy. And so they're just a fun group to coach, that we kind of just have tunnel vision, just trying to get better.
Yeah, I thought that Corbin win was a really good win for you. They had just come off that win at College of Idaho. Corbin's got a unique brand this season. They're playing really tough defensively, and they've given a lot of teams a ton of trouble. And I wasn't able to watch the game, but I followed the scores, and every time they made a run at you, you were able to push it back to 10. I thought your guys showed a lot of toughness Saturday night.
Yeah, I was really happy with their resiliency. A lot of that came from we got some production out of our bench, and they were able to kind of hold it for us. And then, we were able just to match each run they made. And they're a really good team. They're really well coached. Taylor does a great job, and they were coming off a really emotional win and having to travel. So they had a couple things going against them. So we knew we just need to really try to get them on our home floor.
Coach, talk about this Cascade Conference race. It's probably the funnest one to watch in quite a few, because College of Idaho has kind of run away with the last couple, but it's tight, and the parity up and down the conference is probably the best I've seen in years. Talk about the conference. Yeah,
I agree. I think any given night, especially to go on the road and win, is going to be difficult, but I think every team, there's parity. Like you said, those middle half to bottom teams, which is where we were last year, have all gotten better. And then you still have the top end with the LC State, OIT, and College of Idaho that are really good. So I think it's true. I think you have every team every night can beat anyone. So it's just about, keeping your guys focused and trying to get some tough road wins no matter where you go.
Yeah, because I think the road is so much tougher. Like, for example, last year the trip into Portland was considered a little easier. This year it's no cakewalk. I mean, Warner Pacific almost got LC State. They had them. LC State was able to get some separation at the end. Multnomah has won a ton of games. I went out and watched them and covered them just right before the end of the year. They're very skilled. They're playing good basketball. Just kind of Northwest, they're big. They're going to give a lot of people problems. Kind of just up and down the conference. I just think it's so much better than the last couple of years.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, that Portland trip has always been tough places to play, and they both have kind of whole new teams from top to bottom. So we look forward to that one. And yeah, I think everyone's a lot better, and you still have so much experience at the top with OIT and College of Idaho, and LC State's really good. Southern Oregon, they lost a few, but they were all on the road. Now they're kind of rolling a little bit. So it's going to be tough. We know we just got to keep getting better.
Let's talk about a couple of your guys. Garrett Hawks going into the season. You and I talked about it. We knew he would be really, really tough. He's playing pretty good basketball. He's shooting 40% from the three. What is he averaging? Almost 19 points a game. He's a tough guy to stop. He can get his shot almost anytime he wants.
Yeah, he's a fun one to coach. We love having him. I think where he's taken the biggest step is in his leadership. I think just his talk, his ability to keep guys together has been huge for us. And then adding the 1-year guy of TJ Doman with so much basketball experience and versatility. He's another one, just an old guy that's fun to coach. Been really good for us. But yeah, Garrett's playing great. I think he's going to keep getting more and more consistent. He's so much more than just a shot maker for us. He kind of is our glue a little bit, and keeps us together with his leadership.
What impresses me about TJ Doman is his ability to get to the rim. Regardless what guys throw at him, he's just strong as a bull, or he appears to be.
Yeah, he kind of has that lanky strength. He's stronger than he looks, and he's got like a 6'9" wingspan, so he's a tough cover, no matter if you want to try to put a bigger guy on him or a smaller guy. And so, and just his attitude, he's fun to coach. He probably didn't have his best game against Corbin. We actually sat him down late, went with some other lineups, but brought him back in. And in my mind, he got 2 of the biggest rebounds to kind of secure the victory. So that's where we just lean on those guys and their experience. He just was ready to go. It didn't bother him. We took him out. When we put him back in, he was ready to go and got a couple rebounds, and we were able to beat a really good Corbin team.
And then just real quick, I mentioned Malachi Afwork. He's back in your starting lineup. He's shooting 45% from three. He's a big piece of your offensive action, isn't he?
Yeah, and I would say maybe even more defensively. He's just kind of a bulldog. And he broke his foot last year, was out the whole more than the second half of the year. But getting him back and just him being a 6-year guy, he's fun to coach. And he's just hitting open shots and taking what the defense gives him. And so we rely on him just for his experience and leadership and just his steadiness. He's just a big foundational guy for us.
Coach, I know you know this better than I do, but you got a long bus trip coming this weekend going up to the Seattle area. You're going to start Friday night at Evergreen. Then you go up to Northwest. Northwest is big and strong. Evergreen's been struggling a little bit, but no game is for sure. What do you got to do over these next few weeks to really get where you want to be?
Yeah, this month of January is huge for us, and you probably don't remember this, but I'll never forget. We lost both at Northwest and Evergreen last year, and it really was a huge setback for us near the end of the year. We were there for senior night at Evergreen, and they kind of got hot, and we lost both of those last year. So we're just trying to keep the guys focused, and then we're on the road 3 out of the next 4 weekends. We also have College of Idaho in there at their place, and then we have our back-to-back trips of Southern Oregon and the Valley schools. So it doesn't get much more tougher than that. So, we're just trying, like I said, I keep saying, but we're going to try to keep getting better every day. We're trying to stay focused and know anyone can beat anyone. So that Seattle trip for us this weekend's huge. And then follow with that up with at College of Idaho, which is as tough as anywhere in the country. So we're in a good spot. Our guys are working hard, and we're going to see what we can do, see where we're at the end of the month.
Hey, Coach, you got to give fans an idea for the road trips. Like when you go up to Seattle for these games this weekend, how long of a bus ride is that? Depends on the ice, right?
Yeah, it depends on that. And we got to usually, go over 2 passes with our pass, and then the big one, Snoqualmie. So it's about 6 hours, depending on weather and stuff. Right now, it doesn't look too bad. So about 6 hours for that one either way. And then off Olympia's first, and then off to Kirkland on Saturday. So
Well,
it's
even
a
just
big
the
one for us,
even just the trip from Evergreen to Northwest can take a half a day.
depending on traffic. Yeah, in its own way.
Because
Exactly.
people got to understand, Evergreen is at Olympia, which is at the very far south end of the Puget Sound population, and Northwest is clear up at the north. So you got to go through the entire Seattle area, and it takes forever. Anyway, that's beside the point. But that's a long drive
Yeah,
from
you've done it.
Evergreen. Yeah, I've done it many times, and I always say I'd rather go to Eastern Oregon than Northwest. It's a horrible drive up there. It's a nice area. It's just a terrible drive. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it is.
so you're going over to there over to the Puget Sound. So what do you guys got to focus on? What do you want to get better at this weekend?
I think just our execution offensively, they throw some different things at you. Like you said, Northwest is really big and long. They both have showed some zones. So just our ability to execute, make shots, like Southern Oregon at their place hit 21 threes and kind of blew them out, because they just shot it well. I think our whole goal is to be efficient,
Yeah.
to execute, to keep defending. Bushnell had some injuries and some different things going against him, but we really defended that game and put it out of reach with our defense. So we're trying to get better in that regard each day, and then be efficient on the offensive end, and kind of see where we can be. Like I said, after this weekend, but after the next couple weeks.
Well, wish you luck as you move forward. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of time to talk Eastern Oregon basketball. As I said, you're coming off two big weekend wins, and I don't want to wish anything against any other team, but I wish you luck up there in the Puget Sound. I got to be
Thanks a
careful who
lot.
I wish luck here. No, but you
No, I
travel safe,
appreciate
and
it.
we'll be watching, and hopefully we'll get you back on as we get a little deeper in the conference here.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Bill. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, that's Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Hey, thanks a lot to Chris Kemp and to Eastern Oregon University. Great guy. Always enjoy talking to him. Okay, so let's keep going on this. Let's see if somehow we can stumble through this show and give you some information that you can use. So let's go over to the heart of America. Baker tonight beat Benedictine 70-47. Noah Rigatuso, he had 18 points, 2 rebounds, and Ahmed Bagoob, he had 15 points, 4 rebounds. So by my calculation, they're 14-1. They had that weather problem with travel. I think they're hosting Clark on Saturday. Double, as they say at home, check your local listings. That the schedules got blown up a little bit with that weather, but they're 14-1. And then Graceland, they defeated Peru State. Peru State's really good, and this was a nip and tuck game all the way as 3 points at halftime. It ended up a 3-point game, 79-76. Majai Wiley, he had 26 points, 3 rebounds off the bench, and Cole Bowen, 15 points, 9 rebounds, just missing the double-double. And they're going to be at Missouri Valley on Saturday, and they're 13-2. So taking a look at the heart, there's a couple games. This was a good win for Park. I'll show you in the standings. I thought Missouri Valley was up a little more in the standings. I think I made a mistake the other day. William Penn dropped another one that really is gonna really hurts. Every time they think they're gonna move or trying to move up. Let's look at this. See, Park, good win for Park. They're starting to drift up. William Penn, they lost. Boy, those last 2 losses really hurt them. But they lost tonight, sent them to 5-4. They're trying to get in that top 4. Boy, they're really battling for it. You can see Baker's 2 games up on Graceland, and then Peru State's another game back. So with that in mind, Peru State is in action on Saturday against Culver Stockton. That could be a big game. And then Graceland is playing Missouri Valley. These teams really have to keep pace with Baker being 2 and 3 games back already. In the Sun, Ave Maria, they defeated Warner 98-86. Miles Montecourt, 21 points, 5 rebounds, and Michael Klekus, 18 points, 6 rebounds. The Gyrenes, they go to 13-4, and they're going to host Kaiser next Wednesday, so a week from today, week from yesterday. And Kaiser, they defeated Southeastern. Tight game, 76-71. Two big, strong teams going after each other. Kaiser got the best of it tonight. They go to 13-2. In this game, Vincent Miskowitz, 10 points, 11 rebounds, his double-double. And Calvin Sermons has been playing very, very well for Kaiser. 24 points, 3 rebounds. So they're going to host Weber International on Saturday. Just take a look at the games tonight. No big surprises here. You can just see who. Oh, yeah, New College. I already mentioned that they got their first win against Coastal Georgia. Coastal Georgia's having a good year. Florida Memorial won as well. Let's look at the standings. Kaiser is 4-0. Ave Maria 4-1, and Florida Memorial, Southeastern. There's really 5 teams that are. There's not enough games there to show any kind of separation, but you can start to see it's going to be that top 5 is going to battle. So coming up on Saturday, Coastal Georgia at Florida Memorial, big game. Both these teams are trying to sneak up on Kaiser and Ave Maria. And hey, New College is going to go to Southeastern. I mean, let's see what they can do. That would be a huge win. The win over Coastal is good. If they can beat Southeastern, that would be a huge win. Going over to the Appalachian Conference, University of Pikeville, they won tonight, 91-81 over Bluefield. Bradley Bunch, 28 points, 8 rebounds. L.A. Walker, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. They go to 15-3. And they're going to be at Truett McConnell on Saturday. So that was the only game in the AAC tonight. So the standings really didn't change any. I just this goes, this show's going to go right down in the Billy D Hall of Fame. So Pikeville's 8-2 now. So you can see these 3 schools are really packed in there. Keep an eye on this game right here. See, Reinhardt is just behind Pikeville. They're going to play Truett McConnell on Thursday, which is tonight. Keep an eye on that game. If Reinhardt can win that, they can put a lot of pressure on Pikeville. University of Rio Grande, they won earlier in the night when everything was still working. They beat West Virginia Tech handily, 80-54. I did not see that coming. Rio Grande is good, but so is West Virginia Tech. But, man, they just thumped them, 26 points. Milan Square, 22 points, 6 rebounds. And Jalen Johnson, 13 points, 9 rebounds, just missing that double-double. So they go to 12-3, and they're gonna host Alice Lloyd on, Saturday. Let's take a look at the River States. Every game here, no surprise. Everything, if you look at the standings, is just exactly what you would have thought it would have happened. Not enough games really to show any separation yet. Some games over the next couple of days to keep an eye on. On Friday, IU East is going to play West Virginia Tech. That's a big game. Alice Lloyd plays Rio Grande on Saturday. And one more. No, I think that's it. This game is big. Both these games are big. Every game that's big is big. They're all big. Oklahoma Wesleyan, snake bit. They go down again. They fall to St. Mary, who is very good. St. Mary's leading the conference. I'll show you in a second. But they go down 68-61. The Eagles go to 9-5. For St. Mary, Jordan Brown, 27 points, 5 rebounds. And Caden Bonner, he had 16 points, 3 rebounds. Oklahoma Wesleyan is going to travel to Friends on Saturday. And let's take a look at the standings and the rest of the conference. Again, these games here, no surprises. Friends looks really tough this year. So right now in the KCAC, St. Mary is 2 games up on Friends, 2.5 on Ottawa and Oklahoma Wesleyan. Southwestern's 1 more game back. So everybody's chasing St. Mary. So Ottawa, looking at the schedule Thursday and Saturday, there's a lot of games, but looks to me like the team that has the best opportunity to make some moves, Ottawa's going to play both Thursday and Saturday, and against Avila and Tabor. Those both appear to be games that they can make a move, and if they can get 2 wins, that would really help them move up. And then this Oklahoma Wesleyan Friends game is huge as well, because you can see their half game difference in the standings. So watch for Ottawa this weekend in the KCAC, and then Oklahoma Wesleyan and Friends. In the Wolverine Hoosier, couple games we want to talk about. Lawrence Tech beat Cornerstone. Lawrence Tech is better than people think. They've been getting win after win after win. We'll talk about where they're at in the standings here in a second. And Aquinas beat Madonna. Madonna's just trying to fight their way back from that bad start, and they're just going to run out of time. That was a tough loss for them. So Lawrence Tech now is 7-1. They're 1 full game back from Indiana Tech, and then Lourdes is another game back, and then Cornerstone's another game back. So with that in mind, on Saturday, Aquinas at Lawrence Tech. We want to keep an eye on that game. That game could have huge implications in the standings. Lourdes as well. They're taking on Northwestern, but they're playing in the I think they call it the garage at Northwestern. That's a tough place to play. They press everybody. They even press the concession stand. So if you go to the concession stand, they're going to guard you. Indiana Tech is going to be at Madonna. So can Madonna break through and beat Indiana Tech? So there's 3 games there to keep an eye on. You're going to have a lot of homework. I'm giving you a lot of games you got to keep an eye on. And real quick, the Chicagoland, all what you would expect to happen. There's the games right there. It's starting to, now with 7 games, you're starting to see some separation. St. Francis and St. Xavier both 6-1. Indiana Northwest 1 game back from there. So with that in mind, Calumet on Saturday is going to play St. X, and St. Ambrose is going to play Indiana South Bend. Both those games have the possibility to move the standings around. That was the clumsiest show I think I've ever done, ever. Thanks for putting up with it. And anyway, it's going to go down in the Billy D Hall of Fame. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, and then I'll be taking off for the weekend to go watch basketball. But thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody listening, and that's all I got. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.